John Dillinger was a bastard. He robbed dozens of banks across the Midwest, killing anyone who got in his way. However, even worse than this gangster was the town that protected him, Monterey, Indiana. When the heat was on, Dillinger could always depend on the local farmers of this small town. But why Monterey? What would lead these salt-of-the-earth Midwesterners to protect such an evil man? These questions have haunted lawmen's minds for decades.
My high school basketball coach has been here a couple of times, and he's coached and refereed everywhere over Indiana. And he said if he were ever going to hide from the law, this is the place where he would come, because he's never heard of it. He doesn't think anybody could find it. It's so small, nobody would possibly look for you here. So that was what he had said, and I can see that.
A little over 100 miles from Chicago, Monterey lies tucked away in the woods of northwest Indiana. With no local police force, it made for an attractive hideaway for Dillinger. On one occasion, he was spotted by a local farmer and his son. Richard Keller, known around town as Uncle Dick, remembers well the gangster's trip to Monterey.
We had cows down the river bottom, and the guys used to camp down there. And Dillinger was one of them that camped overnight down there. And he talked to him when he went down to get the cows. He was just small then.
They camped down by the river, you said?
Yeah.
Like this, the one right over here?
Yeah.
Like Dillinger and like those guys, like those gangsters?
Yeah.
Really?
So Dillinger and his gang used to hide out down by the river in Monterey. Could they have been planning their next bank robbery?
I don't know. Probably.
If Dillinger used to plan his next robberies in Monterey, could the town still be a haven for fugitives to plan their next crime? Sportsman's bar manager Courtney Hardin provides some insight.
The people in this town, once they realize that you're no threat to this town or no danger, then they're not going to try and alert anybody to your whereabouts. They pretty much will mind their own business eventually. But yeah, I think that most people here, they know people that are here too. Also, we get a lot of people from Chicago that come here that have relatives that have lived here for a long time, and if they're hiding, they come here.
You know, government considers me a gangster.
Just like John Dillinger.
What is a gangster?
Dillinger.
You know, so, you know, that's how they have me profiled. So, you know, and I can be very, very mean if I want to be, but normally I'm like this, just kind of easy going.
The government may consider Tim Denton to be a gangster, but Monterey's hospitality towards criminals allows him to flourish as a businessman. He owns one of 2 bars in town. Perhaps Dillinger could have run his own watering hole had he ever settled down in Monterey, but he was never given the chance as he was killed outside Chicago's Biograph Theater on July 22nd, 1934. Have these modern-day gangsters like Tim carried on his legacy?
These guys are just, you know, I don't know, you can't even call them renegades, but anyway, they're worthless criminals. But those guys we knew were real criminals.
Yeah.
You know, there's a big difference, you know, to me. I'm not concerned about these people. They don't bother me a bit. But, you know, somebody like that, you know, I see him parked in my driveway and I say, okay, now how do I handle this? You know, because, you know, I go out there and shoot somebody off the driveway, but I don't plan on getting shot at first.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Dillinger's kind of Indiana's Robin Hood, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if he really give anything back to anybody, but
well, he might have.
John Dillinger did not give anything back. He lustily spent it all on booze, gambling, and women, not giving a damn about anyone else. So how could Monterey idolize this criminal as a Robin Hood figure?
This could be like one of the crime capitals of the world.
So Monterey is the crime capital of the world. No wonder a gangster like Dillinger would hide out here. But why did the notorious bank robber never steal from Monterey's bank? A bank that has been robbed 3 times in the past year. Clip Walmsley, the bank's longtime president, is reluctant to discuss Dillinger's presence in Monterey.
We've heard a lot about the old stories of the 1920s, 30s gangsters like John Dillinger, Al Capone, hiding out in this area. Have you heard stories about that at all?
No. We heard maybe that over at Bass Lake that they
were hiding out over there a little bit, but not here in Monterey. We never had any of that.
Clip's shifty eyes and uncomfortable demeanor raises a lot of questions. What is Clip hiding? Was he in cahoots with the gangster? Or was he the one man that Dillinger ever feared? Derek Keller, the grandson of the farmer that saw Dillinger in Monterey, knows more to the story.
A big fallen down tree right there. And I believe that's where they were sitting.
That's where the car was?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
And one of them was fishing at the river right
One
here.
of them was fishing right here. Yep.
The man fishing was most likely Babyface Nelson, another famous gangster of the era who was known for his love of fishing. He took Dillinger on many fishing trips throughout the Midwest.
Makes you wonder if maybe it was the day when the boys got away with something, they had some time to themselves. They thought they'd come down around here.
That something could have been the National Bank in South Bend, only 52 miles from Monterey, which Dillinger robbed for $30,000, less than a month before his death.
Yeah, that's a little bit of history. That's when Dillinger came to Monterey, right?
John Dillinger was a bastard, but Monterey revealed his softer side. If only he had given up his evil ways and settled down with his best friend, Babyface Nelson. He could have fished the days away in a town that reveres him as a hero and has since become a place that blurs the line between gangster and farmer.